Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Cho'Gath game, and this game is guaranteed to make you rock hard. Which one? Because I basically hard countered the entire enemy team, in varying degrees of course. Which, look at their composition, they're basically going to cloister up and allow themselves to become victim of my Rupture and my Silence. Plus, they're very caster heavy, including, Ezreal, so a single Silence might just completely fuck them all up. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I was able to pick Cho'Gath with the idea that I countered the, at least the first three, and then the rest of them sort of picked into the counter, so hooray for me, right? Anyhow, Jungle Cho'Gath, or Cho'Gath in general, is one of those champions, or few remaining champions, that can be considered an absolute counter. Therefore, if the situation ever presents itself in which Cho'Gath, despite all his weaknesses, can absolutely shitwreck several of the enemy team members, it's not a bad idea to consider him. In this case, it's gonna work out for the best. Of course, the early game starts off a bit slow since my laners are losing quite a bit, and I sort of have to figure out who I need to help out. I'm focusing on Irelia first right now because you can see she's getting so close to getting killed, but fortunately for her, she's got her teleport. So she goes home, teleports back in, and picks a fight with a Darius who underestimates how much damage she has now after having recovered for a little bit. So Irelia beats his ass, and I go scamper off, and then Darius teleports back top lane. But he does something absolutely stupid. He fights her next to all these minions. Look just how much damage he's going to take from all those minions and Irelia. She basically beats him on her own. I come in, scream in his face. I don't manage to hit the Rupture for anything consequential, and I back away. But he gets a little too close, and Irelia butchers his ass. Then I run into Tom, just start nailing him with claws and spikes and shit, screaming in his face. He flashes over, he gets ruptured, and then here I think the toxic Fro thingy, he ends up licking my ass and he gets poisoned. So the turret gets attracted to me, but fortunately that worked out because you saw that Irelia was able to take some free damage onto him and finish him off. So that was a little bit of a fortunate thing for to happen for us. Anyways, as you can see, my Irelia now has 3 kills, my bottom lane is feeding, and I gotta figure out, do I want to continue feeding the Irelia or helping out bottom lane? Right now though, I'm having my eyes on the Victor because he's a champion that's actually, for me, proven rather easy to kill as Cho'Gath because both my Silence and my Rupture fuck him up. So I'm trying to gravitate around here. I just casually walk up, and he's pretty much trapped between me and Vladimir. He's forced to use his flash, and it didn't cost me very much, so that's a very good boon for me right now. I scamper off on bottom lane. I'm just trying to sort of cover my teammates. They're gonna get dragon mostly because my teammates have sort of died and now they can't defend it. Mid lane is completely safe. My Vladimir is doing quite a bit of work right now. And it's sort of a back and forth. You can see that Irelia has pretty much got Darius' number, so I don't really have to interfere with her right now. I gotta sort of protect mid lane or bottom lane. In this situation, I sort of made the conscious decision, and so did Taric too, to sort of abandon the Twitch because he's a giant, massive asshole to everybody else. So right now, it's basically a fight for mid lane. I have to sort of either control the jungle and protect my mid laner from getting killed by the enemy jungler, who hasn't been really doing that good of a job either way, or somehow find a way to kill the Victor, who at this point is playing rather safely, although the Vladimir is kind of kicking his ass. Either way, this just shows the brutality of the Irelia. She scampers down bottom while my bottom laners are fighting, and is able to pick off both the Morgana and then butcher Ezreal's ass. So this bitch is huge right now. And it helps me out too, considering like now bottom lane is sort of relieved from the situation, and I'm able to control the jungle a little bit more. So I'm scampering about, and I catch Victor here, playing a little bit too aggressively. I'm able just to loop behind him and then yell at his face, or at least just flash over, use a Rupture, and then yell at his face, and then slowly catch him up to him and then just bite him in the butt. Also, I hope you noticed that I got stunned, and yet my bite still went through like after I got stunned. I don't know if that's a replay issue because I didn't really catch that while playing in the game. Either way, one of the things I just kind of deviation from the commentary, just a little criticism of other Cho'Gath players. A lot of Cho'Gath players try to wait for their ultimate to eat somebody, get the kill that way. Sometimes it's just better off just to use it for damage and let your homies kill him. Anyways, the Ezreal did a really stupid thing of letting me get close enough to silence him, so he took a bit of free damage and then blinked away. But either way, that split him and Morgana up in a very bad situation and allowed us to easily kill the Morgana. Of course, the Taric's ultimate played a big part in making sure Twitch didn't die, and then Irelia shows up and kills Ezreal, so bottom lane is basically absolutely buried thanks to the efforts of Irelia, her super PMS build, aggression right there. Either way, we take down bottom lane, we back up, go back, and the next dragon should be spawning very soon, so we're going to be making moves to try to fight that. Vladimir right now is sort of losing to the Victor, but thankfully Twitch shows up and guns his ass down. A lot of ridiculous damage done in a very short amount of time, so that gives me hope for the team fights. Either way, Vladimir is forced to go home because he's been taking a lot of damage. Well, a little fight breaks out in mid lane, force both Ezreal and Tom to back off, and you can see just the fear of my silence is making them burn their shit preemptively. If I actually landed my rupture, it might have led to a few kills right there, but whatever. Either way, the enemy team basically cannot cross me. If there's anything Cho'Gath does well is basically become a gigantic ass bodyguard. It forces them to come to my silence and basically get fucked up. Either way, here they don't have any vision, so I just wait for them to come for the dragon, and boom, Rupture hits 2 people, yell at their faces. The Victor's basically gonna die because there's absolutely nothing he could do thanks to that silence. And then I love this part. So if you haven't had an erection yet, just wait. Just wait for the erection. Ah, 3 men. Rupture, 3-man silence on top of a Taric ultimate. The fuck was the enemy supposed to be able to do that? They couldn't fight back, they couldn't run, they were absolutely just massively fucked. Unfortunately, we only killed 2 people, so it's not as spectacular as it could be, but still, it was pretty boner-inducing, wasn't it? Either way, we get a dragon, we back off, hooray for us. Again, if there's anything else that Cho'Gath's really good, is that you pretty much can't smite steal against him if he's paying attention, or unless he has no mana, of course. Anyhow, the enemy team is pretty much donezo right now. They have to sort of team fight us, but they really can't. Unless the Aurelia gets super greedy and then gets absolutely killed, they stand no chance in hell. We kill the Darius, we chase after the Victor, and we kind of just traded Aurelia's life. By the way, here's the Gusto part. We go off the Tom, I bite him, his shield keeps him alive, Vladimir picks up the kill, and the enemy team got a little too damn greedy for the Twitch kill, and as a result, it's going to basically get quadra killed. Unfortunately for Vladimir, he dies to a tower, so he can't get himself a penta, and I stab Morgana in her tits, and she dies. So hooray for us. That's a pretty goddamn brutal fight. Right now, the enemy team is going to have massive problems with 3 things. 1, Taric. His ultimate is, if they actually manage to get through me, Taric's ultimate is going to completely 100% fuck them. And 2, Vladimir is going to do a shitload of damage, and there's nothing they can do to kill him because the amount of peel we have basically guarantees that him combining this pull with our peel is never going to fucking die in any meaningful way unless he gets super greedy. Just watch that. It's spoiler alert. It's going to become very brutal with Vladimir and me. Yeah, I'm the ultimate bodyguard right now. Aurelia is just fed off her fucking mind. Taric's ultimates have been so fucking on point. It's fucking beautiful. Either way, my teammates catch Victor. They gun him down rather easily. The enemy team is in no position to combine their damage properly. They're so completely off guard. Taric's ultimate keeps him alive. Darius burned his ultimate trying to kill the Taric while he was immortal. And we slowly, systematically catch them all and murder their asses. Morgana scampers off because she's just not having any of this shit. Yeah, it's pretty damn one-sided, but a lot of it goes to just how well top lane was buried and the incredible picks we made. The enemy team composition is just so poor against our specific composition. Their damage isn't fast enough to be able to deal with Taric stuff. A single silence from me completely destroys and slows down their damage even further. So what are they going to be able to do? Again, just the amount of CC we have, or just the silences we have, inhibits their ability to fight properly or position themselves properly. And the machine gun pace that our damage comes out allows us to sort of push them back. Vladimir just fucks the Morgana here. He forced the Darius back. I don't have any mana, so I can't really help him except using my body as a sort of a fear factor. They're afraid to do anything because I'm just so massive. I'm trying to bite someone, but I don't have the mana for it until the very end. I finally killed the Ezreal, but I die as a result. But as you can see, the fucking Vladimir has been taking down everyone slowly. Even here, the fucking Victor couldn't take him down. The Tom can barely keep up. It's not until the enemy Morgana shows up, Vladimir sort of starts to panic. And if it wasn't for this turret shot that he just took, or the grind, he might have survived enough to start sucking more blood away. So, Jesus Christ, there's absolutely jack dick the enemy team can do, and it's just such a, I want to say almost accidental team composition that my team sort of fell into that answered the enemy team. I mean, the Twitch doesn't really matter, but the rest of the composition. It's like just so anti-purple team right now. We can take the next dragon, which is luckily another Inferno, so it really helps us out. And again, I'm just using my fat ass as a sort of shield for them, because if they focus me, they lose. If they ignore me, they can't do jack dick, and they'll lose eventually. Right now, again, the only thing that can happen in their favor is that someone like the Aurelia gets super greedy and gets picked off, trading 1 for 1. Those situations are pretty bad for sure. But even then, they really can't do anything to me or to the rest of my homies. Me and Vladimir are just going to be putting so much pressure on the enemy team that they're forced to answer us. But again, answering us is absolutely stupid, so they're getting super punished for their picks. Again, their composition would have worked out if my team wasn't so difficult to kill or pointless to focus, or provided so much inhibition or prohibition, I don't know what word to use, for their abilities. Again, my silence stops absolutely every single one of them. My rupture, it usually hits 1 or 2 people without fail, and that one rupture ability just fucks them all up. And again, we're just so difficult to kill. Their negligible damage, or at least their slow damage, works against them. Look how much effort it takes to even bring somebody down on my team before that one member fucks them up. Our team's positioning in this case was very poor, and we weren't even a complete team, and it took the entire team to even bring down Twitch, and that's like the weakest member of my composition. So I love these kinds of situations, because I can't even criticize the enemy team for being bad or anything. It's just they got completely outpicked, and they may have not known better. I have to say that's one of the bigger criticisms I have of sort of League of Legends, in which it sort of doesn't teach you how to not get yourself super countered, or how to pick properly. So you sometimes have these sort of situations where if everyone's playing properly, you just kind of stand no real chance, because your composition is you sort of picked poorly. Again, I wasn't the last pick in the game. I think I was the 3rd pick in Champion Select, and the enemy team sort of picked into this and got themselves absolutely destroyed. So it's sort of their fault, but I don't really feel like they knew any better, because I'm picking Cho'Gath, and that's already kind of a rare pick in this meta right now. And just a lot of weirdness, right? So I just kind of wish there were more resources that would help these kinds of players out, because again, I can't say they were bad. They just got so weirdly outpicked. Anyways, right now I'm trying to destroy the Nexus. I'm just trying to end this game, end my fucking misery, and everyone is focusing on the kills. I'm just slowly whittling this down, and my flash fails to try to flash over the Nexus to try to make some, like, I don't know, some play or something, but I just flashed like a couple centimeters away, and I managed to take it before I die and end this goddamn game. Either way, hooray for Cho'Gath, and hooray for my composition. We played it so damn well, it was brutal. This channel is supported by my sponsors, Crunchyroll and Loot Crate. Check out the description below for links to the websites. Signing up for any trials, including Crunchyroll's free anime trial, greatly supports my channel. Also remember to give the video a like to support the channel, and subscribe if you haven't yet. I've also made a Patreon now, and if you wish to support me through that medium, then I welcome it.